Prisons. I actually came dangerously close to one after writing this line of dialogue at 16.
Robbie, I swear down, yeah, if you don't give me those gloves, I'm gonna break every bone in your body. You're gonna end up looking like Jabba the Hutt.
Alright, man.
Listen, I wasn't just writing a movie, I was also committing a felony against cinema. But that's right, prison, a place of punishment, justice and accountability. When I say justice, I'm not talking about the kind of justice Elon Musk thought he was doing last week, now that him and the honey monster have had a little falling out. Like, I saw multiple tweets from people saying, can you believe this? Can you believe these two have fallen out? You just can't predict something like it. Yes you can. Elon Musk is the most thin-skinned billionaire alive. His skin is so thin, you could literally make a paper airplane out of it. And yet, yada yada yada, he may claim that he wants to bring down the easily offended, end wokeness, but at the end of the day, he's the type of guy to get offended by Mr. Bean's holiday. However, moving back to where we were before, one word people don't usually attach prisons to is rehabilitation. And that's why in the last few weeks, I've been worried about this.
Well, we're going to really try and dig into some of the key issues this evening, and with us to do just that is the Prisons Minister, James Timpson. Thank you so much for coming with us here to Preston to really try. We're just trying to get under the skin of what is going on, and you are the person who could be able to change things. My first question to you, I guess, is the really obvious one. Do you think we're sending too many people to prison?
I think we need to build more prison places, and we are building more prison places. But the problem is too many people are leaving prison, as you said, as you've seen here in Preston, and they're coming back again and again. 80% of offending is reoffending, so clearly something is going wrong. We inherited a justice system in a complete mess, and my job is to try and sort it with my colleagues, and so that is what I'm here to do.
And let me just cut in there, because it's true. The UK prison system is in crisis mode. Some of you may even recall last September the Labour government had to release over 2,000 prisoners early because prisons here were becoming so overcrowded. And look, I have to clarify something here. You may have seen Conservatives or Reform moaning about how Labour had to release prisoners early, but trust me on this, seriously, trust me on this, whoever won the last election would have had to do the same thing. Seriously though, what would have they done differently? Knocked on people's doors asking if good old Richie here can sleep in your spare bedroom, but hey, don't worry, he's only killed 4 people. Plus, a leaked document even showed that former Prime Minister Rishi Sunak was warned before the election that he would have to release prisoners early. So whilst Prime Minister Keir Starmer's had to take that difficult decision of releasing those prisoners early, the Labour government have also announced they're going to build 3 new prisons and are also considering sentencing more people to community service for less serious crimes. And in fact, the spending review recently even announced more funding for prisons. But what we need to see more of from this government is reforming prisons to become more of a place of rehabilitation. Now look, I do believe there are some criminals who just do not deserve a second chance in life. From murderers, to terrorists, to people who think the chain smokers are underrated. But there are definitely some prisoners who do deserve a second chance in life. However, here in the UK, that seems almost impossible. Because the last time reoffending rates were recorded, reoffending was at 27.5%. So for the rest of this video, we're going to break down why reoffending isn't decreasing via 2 E's. 1, exposure, and 2, employment. So let's start off with exposure. The current setting of many prisons here in the UK do very little to encourage rehabilitation and are sadly becoming increasingly violent, with assaults rising in prisons to 18% last year. So when our prison system is exposing inmates to a culture of violence, no wonder why reoffending is going up, as the system has clearly not done enough to prepare inmates to re-enter the real world. It's like having to spend the day with someone who loves Mrs. Brown's Boys. You're gonna come out more f***ed up than the people who own Great Northern Trains. Look, I've got serious beef with Great Northern Trains, alright? But the point is, prisons don't have to encourage this violent atmosphere. Just take a look at the prisons in Denmark. For many prisoners there, they live in cells that are designed like private dorm rooms. And the prison officers in Danish prisons are a lot more trained, and not only are they trained in security, but they're also trained in psychology and meditation. As where for us in the UK, we had this.
This is the woman accused of having sex with an inmate at Wandsworth Prison whilst on duty as a prison officer. 30-year-old Linda D'Souza Abreu from Fulham appeared at Uxbridge Magistrates Courts today after being charged this weekend with misconduct in public office. Now, this comes as a video, which of course we won't show here, has gone viral on social media since it was believed to have been filmed last week. It shows a woman in a prison officer's uniform becoming intimate with an inmate as another person filmed it.
Yeah, we do things a bit differently. But if it's not clear already, the Danish prison system is much more effective than ours. Heck, they even see less reoffending than we do. Now, before we move on, two things. One, I'm not saying that we should rebuild our prisons to look like Love Island, because then at that rate, 90% of burglaries would be committed by blokes named Barry who've just got a severe case of blue balls. But more importantly, number two, I also understand that rebuilding our prisons to be like the Danish prisons is a very ambitious plan that would take a very long time. So let's discuss the employment side of it all, because here's a strategy that wouldn't take as long to map out. To prepare British prisoners to re-enter the real world, the system has to give them a purpose that steers away from crime. And of course, this purpose can come through employment. The prison system needs to do more to open inmates' eyes to other opportunities when they come out of jail. And here's the thing, the UK actually does this. They have their own schemes that help give prisoners a newfound purpose. For example, did you know that there is a restaurant in Brixton called The Clink which serves meals cooked by current prisoners? And that's not all, there's also the Synergy Theatre Project, a drama group which brings in prisoners to take classes in acting, playwriting and stage managing. And 97% of those involved in the project have not gone on to reoffend, with nearly 60% of those having gone on to develop a career in the arts industry. And that's far more than mine and even your GCSE drama class. Which, let's face it, makes sense since some of our performances were so bad we should have been charged with torture.
Alright, man. Chill out.
Or what about the Listener Scheme? A scheme which trains inmates to counsel those struggling with mental health or suicidal thoughts. And these all sound amazing, right? But sadly, we don't have enough schemes like them, nor do these schemes get enough funding. And if the UK actually wants to stop reoffending, it's time to invest in purpose, not just punishment.